He's brash. He speaks his mind.
You'll never headline a card in your life. You sit there and shut your fucking mouth. How about that?
And he loves backing up every word when he steps into the Bellator cage. Find out what makes him tick, how he's handled his anxieties, and why his parents are the most important people in his life. Today we sit down with James Gallagher. Joe Rogan always says, never read the comments. You ever listen to JRE? Yeah. He always tells people that. He's like, never read the comments. And I thought that was interesting to talk to you about for obvious reasons. You're an outspoken guy. Every internet troll comes out of under every bridge to talk about you, James. Thought it was interesting, so I wanted to read a couple of the top comments from your last fight. And I saw a sort of a sea change here. Here's some of the top comments. Gallagher looks matured here. We can't deny the fact that he's skilled and talented. Very young fighter, but very talented. I'm curious to see how he'll perform when he gets to his prime. Gallagher is better than I thought. 23 years old, damn, he's become super skilled. And then I give you one more. As much as everyone hates Gallagher, it's been awesome watching his progression as a fighter. Would love to see him fight for the title in the future. James has great grappling skills and especially his positional control. Imagine if he develops hands like McGregor, he could be the biggest star.
Yeah.
Are you used to seeing that in comments about you online? Do you just avoid all that crap in general?
Oh, I read everything, man. I read absolutely everything, and it's crazy. I don't know if I should. Sometimes, you know what I mean? It does get to you sometimes, and do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're only human. Do you know what I mean? I'm a tough motherfucker. I can withstand anything comes my way. I'm not saying I can't withstand it, but they give me the bad comment, you get fucked off for a minute, you're like, alright, shake it off. Now I'm going to do me. And just do you.
So then why read the comments?
Because it's interesting to see other people's point of views and see other people's mindsets, because I feel like the more mindsets that I'm around, the more mindsets I can figure out.
When it comes to what's important, James places family above all else. You're real close with your family. You're real close with your friends. I always find it really interesting when you talk about your family, your relationship with your dad. I remember, I believe you said that your dad won't let you buy him lunch. Is that correct?
Never. Never. He still gives my dad gives me money to this day. So yeah, that's that. I think the most I've ever got my parents was probably a hotel. Like that's been it. A hotel brick. Other than that, it's like, no, we don't want one from you. We just want to see you do well. They supported me the whole way. I would never be where I am for them. To be honest, they're probably the only two people that I trust in my life with everything. Tell my mum everything. My mum used to do all my work. She used to do all my banking and stuff, look after all my money. My dad's been my best mate. He's always in my corner.
You were talking about, you know, how selfless your parents are and how you feel selfish. It seems the natural thing for a fighter, right? When you choose the life of a fighter, there's some level of selfishness that makes logical sense for you. Mm-hmm. You're over here training in the States. You're obviously doing this for your progression as a fighter.
Every day what I feel my dad brings me and reminds me that I'm doing the right thing. And I'm sitting there going, I feel selfish, I haven't been there, missing birthdays, miss his birthday, miss my mum's birthday, and every day you're doing the right thing. If your mind's in a good place, you're happy and you're comfortable, keep doing it. Don't worry about anything else, don't worry about me, don't worry about him. Focus on you, become whatever the fuck you want to be. He's on you can be anything you want. And for me, man, it's just like sometimes I feel very selfish, sometimes I feel like I should be around more, I need to give more. And then when I see them, they're like, we don't want anything, it makes me come back to it and be like, alright, the only thing that matters here is me chasing my dream. That's it. And when I go and raise that belt and my mum jumps in the top of the cage and the guy comes over and tries to rip her off and I smack the fella with the belt and put it around my man's waist, that's all I want. I don't want nothing else. Do you know what I mean? That's all I want.
MMA isn't the only fighting he's had to do. James opens up about the problems he's had to overcome. Touched on it before some fights, maybe even just the one fight. You were feeling anxiety. If I remember the interview correctly, you even called it a panic attack.
Yeah.
And then you said you watched a Tyson Fury interview. Now fill me in if I'm missing anything here. You were going to not fight, and you listened to Tyson Fury speak about his mental illness.
Yeah.
And that pushed you through. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a very touchy subject and it's hard, but I'd have walked into the gym and I'd been like sparring, I was just getting like panic attacks. And I'd have to leave the gym, do you know what I mean? I'd be like nearly in tears and like, I don't feel good, and obviously one day around my dad, do you know what I mean, with me and Guy, and I was like, listen, I'm not feeling good, mate, like there's something up, like I just, like, and it wasn't like depression or nothing like that, you know what I mean, like I wasn't like that, I just didn't feel good, I was getting like everything was too much, you know what I mean, I was like, ugh, and couldn't deal with it, I couldn't just relax and go with it and everything, and I was honest with it, I didn't feel good, so I said to my dad, and I was like, alright, so then I would have got like a doctor in, and I would have trained to close the gym off, but then just got, was 3 weeks in my fight, one of the biggest fights that I've had, felt like pulling out, they were like, don't pull out yet, just try and get through it. When I watched that, to see what he was going through, and the big spike, and then the downfall, was kind of like, I'm alright, you know what I mean, I'm good, I got a little bit of stuff, but I can do this. All them little problems are not problems, they're just things that you blow up in your own head, and you have to realise what's what, and it just motivated me. I just blocked everything out, had the fight, and after the fight I had like breakdown, so I did, like I was in bits, there's a picture of me and my mum, and I'm crying, and she didn't know anything, and she came up to me after, and it was like one of the craziest things ever. She was, oh, I felt everything you were going through. I was like, you don't know nothing. Do you know what I mean? Everything was hidden from you. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want you to worry about it. And she came up to me after, and she was, oh, I know you weren't right. I knew this. And I was like, this is weird, man. And then from that moment on, I was like, I have to go there. My parents give me this opportunity. They put everything into me. When I'm on them mats, I'm not thinking about nothing else but getting better, improving, enjoying it, and having fun, and I'm forever grateful for that.
It's powerful to hear you talk about mental illness, to hear you talk about anxiety, to hear you talk about panic attacks, because people see a fighter, a successful professional fighter, and they think, this type of person is so confident. James Gallagher is so confident. No way he ever feels anxiety, right?
Yeah.
No way a person who talks about himself the way you do, who carries himself into the cage with confidence, who dominates opponents like you do, no way this person is human in the same way they are. And yet, here you are, and you're confident enough to talk about that with me.
Yeah.
There's something in culture, there's something even maybe with masculine men, where this is seen as a weakness to talk about, or where people will have mental health issues, have anxiety, but they'll just kind of bury it and bottle it up. Why did you choose to instead tell the media about it, tell your parents about it, tell your coaches about it, and face it the other way? What drove you to take a totally different stance against the problem than I think any other fighter, maybe besides you and Tyson Fury, have?
That's me. I'm not scared to talk about anything. The same way I'm not scared to go up into your face and say, I'm going to fuck you up. I'm not scared to go up into your face either and tell you, I don't feel good. No, I want help. I need someone here to like help me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not scared to ask for help. I've got strength and conditioning coaches. I've got fucking MMA coaches, jiu-jitsu coaches, boxing coaches. They all help me. Do you know what I mean? Now I've got a mindset coach as well. And it's kind of like, why would I not ask for help? And I would ask help for learning how to defend myself, and you know what I mean, and MMA. I'd ask for help if I just need help, I would ask. So why not ask for help for me?
James has a fight fast approaching. He will soon headline Bellator 270 in his hometown of Dublin, Ireland. We gathered his thoughts on his opponent, who has also been outspoken before the bout.
He's been DMing me all weekend, running his goddamn mouth.
When you see this matchup with Patchy, it seems he's one of the better grapplers in the division. Obviously, you are as well. Is this an opportunity for you to strike? How do you look at this matchup with Patchy?
He's got good tricks on the floor. I don't feel like that he's an overall that good grappler. He's got good submissions, but I haven't seen him take someone down, pass their guard, control them, take their back, like in a smooth, cutthroat way, the way I've done. He hasn't blitzed someone out in the middle, opened them up on the feet, double-legged them, took them down, dealt with adversity, passed the guard, smooth sailing, fucked them up a little bit, took their back and choked them. The only thing I've ever seen from him is jumping on someone's back and getting a quick finish. Jumping a quick guillotine and grabbing that. You know what I mean? And if he doesn't get that, he gets tired. Do you know what I mean? You can see it in his last fight. His last performance was atrocious, I thought, in my opinion. He should have beat that guy in the first round. I didn't like what I seen, and if he shows up like that against me, he's going to pay for it.
You were originally supposed to have the fight. You had a little bit of a shoulder injury. Patchy says, I never saw an MRI. I don't think he had a shoulder injury. Why is this guy pretending like you weren't injured?
I don't need to show you jack shit. Take my word or don't. I don't give a fuck what you think. You know what I mean? When the date's signed and I'm fit and I'm ready, I'll be standing looking at you dead now in front of you, and that's it.
James, it's been an absolute pleasure, bro. Thank you for sitting down with me, brother.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.